We're going to make some ocean creatures inspired by the maquettes from Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. You will all have a cloth. You will have a chunk of clay. Your first job is take your chunk of clay and you're going to break it in two. So I split it in half, setting half of it aside. The other half we're going to turn into the main portion of our body, which will be based on a pinch pot. So I'm going to take this chunk of clay and I am squeezing it to make it kind of ball-like. And then we roll it between our hands to make it a little smoother. So once I'm done rolling, it looks something like this. If you roll it too much, your clay is going to start to get hard and get dry on you, and that is not what we want. Your next mission, just like when you were in first grade, you're going to take your thumb, take your clay, push your thumb into your clay, and don't go all the way through. Then we use your lobster claw, or since we're making ocean themed clay, you can do your baby shark. And we're gently pinching all the way around in a circle, and we want this edge to stay fairly thick. It should be about as thick as my finger is wide. If you make it very skinny, your clay is more likely to break. And then you can go through and smooth the cracks with your finger. You can use the table as well to smooth things out a little more. Once you're at this point, that's where we have to stop and do some thinking, because you don't all have the same idea for your ocean creature. So you could have your pot sit this direction, and then you would tap it on the table to flatten that bottom out, because it could be an animal where it's got its mouth open wide. So maybe it's a shark, maybe it's a fish, and he's got his mouth open very large because he's ready to eat. So your project could go this direction. In that case, there would be eyes up here. You could have teeth in there, fins on the side, the tail will go on the back. If you were making it into a turtle, for example, a sea turtle, you could have it like this, and then you would attach legs, tail, head. He could be floating on its back. You could turn it the other way if it's a turtle. Legs, tail, head. And if you're doing an octopus, we can take that and turn it upside down and give them a face up here and add tentacles to sides. Just depends on what you want to build. So for my demonstration, I want an octopus, but I want him to have a big wide mouth. I want him yelling. So I'm gonna tap it gently so this isn't wobbly anymore. Now that my pinch pot form is done for the main part of the body, I need to make some parts. So I'm going to take the leftover clay that I have and rip off some chunks. And you can always take your clay and whatever you're making, like if you're making a fish fin, rip off a piece and use your fingers to shape it into your fin. Also, I have lots of things on the clay table, like the box of fun, which is great for adding texture. Like for a fish fin, if you take a fork and press it onto the fin and leave some little lines, which are excellent for a fish fin. You probably want to do that to both sides before we attach it onto your clay, which we're going to demonstrate how to do that in a moment. If you have something with tentacles, like an octopus, or as Hank was in the Pixar movie, he was a septopus because he lost a leg. We can always roll clay out on the table. I like to squeeze it out first. I'm going to roll 4 pieces that are about the same length, and then I will break them in the middle.